No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen. Welcome to the Parlay Pursuit. It is I, your host, Lukey CK, but I'm a man, and a man has to do what a man has to do, and I have to move Alex, the Euro Under King, into the King's seat after going 10 out of 11.
9 out of 11, never forget.
9 out of 11. I thought it was 10 out of 11.
I lost Levy, and I lost Misha.
He lost Levy, Nathan Levy. Very close fight. We'll talk about it. We're going to break down the recap for UFC Vegas 43, and then we're going to give you early predictions for Font versus Aldo. But let's just give credit where credit is due. Alex went 9 out of 11, never forget. And that brought him to Alex. We have to change your name on the StreamYard here. You are now not 68.3%, but no, you are. You changed it yourself. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I thought I had to edit it myself, but you changed it. You are 68.3%. I have actually fallen. Now, everybody, I've fallen to 66%. It is a big blow. I'm 66%. It is what it is. Dan, we didn't get your record. What did you go? I went 6 out of 11, UFC Vegas 43, everybody. Alex went 9 out of 11. Round of applause for Alex. He's in first place, 68%, year 2. I'm just trailing him, 66%. And Danny is the little doggy nipping at our heels. Dan, what did you go?
7 out of 11, so that keeps me at 63%. I feel like I've gotten right in that range for consecutive events now, 6 or 7 out of 10 or 11. It's frustrating, man. I'm trying to break out of this thing. I'm in a bit of a, not so much a slump, but I'm not really hitting that peak stride. So hopefully on a banger of a card, we could get to that level.
That brings you to 176 out of 282. You're sure that is yeah, I'm looking here at 62.4%. So you are still you're still where you are, and I'm at 66. We're all, listen, this is still a banner year. Year 2, we are well over, approaching 300 picks in year 2. All of us operating well above 60%, approaching 70, trending towards 70. And the most important thing, guys, is Triple P certified picks. That's the picks that all three of us have consensus agreement on. Triple P certified picks went 3 out of 3. Would have probably been 4 out of 4 if Terrence McKinney didn't get pulled off the card with hours to go until the fight because his cornerman had tested positive for the thing that we don't talk about on the podcast. Listen, Terrence McKinney out. That brings us to 3 out of 3. We had Pat Sabatini, we had Sean Brady, and we had Adrian Yanez. 3 fights that I think we all didn't think were going to be as close as they were. What do you think about our 3 out of 3 Triple P certified picks, guys? Alex, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Adrian Yanez versus what was that fella's name?
Oh, how can you forget Dangerous Davy Grant, who fought like a
Davy Grant,
who arguably won the fight? I mean, on one judge's scorecard, he was awarded a 30-27. So I love Davy Grant. I love the fucking spinning kick he came out there with at the start, looking to take motherfucker's head off. And he fought like a champion. He landed some hard shots. He hurt Yanez. He fought brilliantly. Yanez has that Philly shell, Bobby Green, Floyd Mayweather kind of style, where a lot of that stuff was glancing off the shoulder. Still makes a big sound in the apex. The judges maybe are kind of dumb. Like, they don't really know what's landing and what isn't. So, and at the end of the day, getting hit in the shoulder still hurts, man. These aren't boxing gloves. These are MMA gloves. Like that, a hit to the hand, to the forearm, to the shoulder, that still does damage. MMA, you have to kind of not get hit at all to really not. In boxing, if you block a shot with a glove or with a shoulder, you're going to get awarded points. In MMA, I don't know that should be the case because hands get broken, arms get broken, all sorts of damage gets done. Even punches that go through the guard and kind of deflect against the head, kicks and things of that nature should be awarded, I think, in MMA, even if they land at all. So you got to be Anderson Silva. You got to be not getting touched in MMA if you want to have that counter-striker style. But that being said, 30-27 seemed to me a little bit outlandish, but gave me a little bit of hope as somebody who at that point in the night was just rooting for, Dangerous Davy as an entertainer at that point. I mean, the man is an entertainer, right? Like, you got to see him continue to roll on this UFC roster. There's so many fun fights that could be had if the stardom kind of celebrity factor didn't come into play in the UFC. Like, we could see Dangerous Davy, fighting at what is his weight class? 145?
35.
135. So yeah, I mean, not as many stars at 135 as I was thinking. Honestly, I thought Davy Grant was a lot. No, he's 55. He fought Chito Vera.
We just fought Adrian Yanez.
At 135, they fought.
They fought at 135. Didn't he just fight Chito Vera? Was that at 45? That was at 45, I think, right? No, Sean O'Malley is 35, I guess. So Chito Vera is 35?
Yeah.
Edgar's 35, Vera's 35. What is going on? Why did I think Chito Vera was a lightweight?
You've done this before. You've messed up on Chito's weight multiple times at this point.
You know what it is? It's the Edgar effect. Edgar moving down in weight from lightweight, I think, has just screwed me up. You know, and like any guy who's fought Edgar is kind of like now making me think that they're a lightweight. It's a mess. But anyway,
I gotcha.
Let's continue. Guys, go ahead. I've talked too long.
No, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that the better fighters won, which isn't always what happens in this sport, you know. But Adrian Yanez, Sean Brady, they were close, but at the end of the day, I do feel like these were the better fighters and they did get the job done. So Sean Brady, Adrian Yanez, and Pat Sabatini, if it's all their opponents, like, yeah, on paper, these guys are definitely the better fighters. So, you know, the good guys won in this case. Alex, anything to add?
Yeah. Sean Brady, rocky third round, but he had a great fight altogether and still was able to start stringing together some takedown attempts just to stay out of danger in that third round, which is very high ring IQ. You know, we really come down on people who have bad ring IQ, who are winning the fight and go out there and get knocked out or take somebody down and get submitted. But we barely applaud people, but Sean Brady, great ring IQ that fight, took the fight to where he wanted it and really dominated one of the better grapplers in the division. I'd like to see how he fares against, you know, somebody like a Colby Covington of sorts. I think that'd be an interesting matchup for sure.
Absolutely.
Would you like to see... Oh, go ahead, Lukey, my bad.
No, after you.
No, I was going to say, would you like to see Sean Brady get built up a little bit more? Maybe not so much from a skill perspective, but just the PR push. Do you think he needs a little bit more of a PR backing to get a Colby Covington fight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's definitely going to have to beat somebody else, maybe like a Leon Edwards or something. Get him in there with a Leon. I'd like to see that. They don't like Leon. They'll throw Leon in there with anybody. So if they can get him in there with...
You're ahead of yourself here, I think. I think Gilbert Burns is a better choice. I think Hamza...
He's matched up with Azamat. I think
no, he's not. Here's the thing, Alex. So Gilbert Burns said in an interview, and I actually really did want to get to this during this podcast, so I'm glad you brought this up. Gilbert Burns said in an interview, yeah, I would love to give Hamzat an opportunity. Then I think the UFC probably called him and said, hey, we saw the interview, so you want to fight Hamzat? We need somebody to fight him. Perfect. And then he began, then he did the whole, yeah, hold on. Let's take a look at these rankings real quick. What is Hamzat ranked? Geez. It's like when you are a little kid and you ask your mom, Mom, can I do this? Can I go out with my older cousins? And she says, no, you got to be 8 years old to do that, and you're 7, right? You know, It's like Hamzat is whatever rank keeps him from getting the fights with the people who are afraid of him, right? They're like, oh, he's ranked 10th. That's too. He's not even in the top 9. And when he gets ranked 7th, he's not even in the top 5. Then when he gets ranked 5th, listen, I'm more so focused on the title. Then he gets the title, and what's gonna happen then? What is gonna happen then?
He needs to fight someone who knows English better, and
we're going to see the UFC welterweight division turn into the women's 135-pound division, where Amanda Nunes just takes the belt, and everyone's just like, "Is it your turn? Oh no, you go. No, you go ahead. No, you." It's like a bunch of ladies standing at the line at the salad bar. You know, everyone's just waiting for the croutons to come out. Nobody wants to go first and take the baby spinach. You know. So these welterweights are. So Gilbert Burns, right, goes, I'm not fighting Hamzat. I'll probably have to fight him if he wins a couple more and he gets into my ranking system, but I'm not going to fight him. But it's like, oh, but Gilbert Burns, you would fight Nate Diaz. You'd love to fight Nate Diaz, who's ranked 45th worldwide, like hasn't won a fight since Obama was in office. You would easily fight him, you know? You'd fight Masvidal. You'd fight any of these guys who are ranked lower than Hamzat Chimaev. You would fight if they had a better name value. It's so transparently obvious, and it's despicable. It's disgusting. And then, you see guys like Chael Sonnen on his YouTube show, defend guys like Burns and all these other guys. You see him defending them and be like, oh, look, he'll take a fight with Chimaev. But then those guys come and turn the gun on him and do exactly what he's praising them for not doing. They do it in broad daylight. And we have to go, we thought you were one of the good ones. We thought you were one of the anywhere, anytime, any place kind of guys. But no, you're just one of those. You're afraid. You're literally afraid. It's like Khamzat Chimaev also, by the way, Gilbert, is more famous than you. So if we're going to go by the who's more, it's like he has a bigger following. He's got 1 million followers on Instagram. He's more famous than you. He's a better fighter than you. He's more unblemished than you. What do we want to, what are we talking about here? It's like he's gotten, who do you want to fight? The guy who's gotten hit one time in his history of being in the UFC over 4 fights? Or what, Gilbert? You want to fight, you just fought Wonder Boy. I mean, and you beat him. After losing the belt, it's like, who should you fight?
Yeah.
Who should you fight? Not Nate Diaz.
It's so good for your stock, too. Like, even if you get ragdolled by Chimaev, nothing's going to happen to your stock as far as, the...
Oh, no, it will. Things will happen to your stock. You'll go down.
Not much. Not as much as any other loss. People will be like, oh, well, he fought Khamzat. Just like anyone who loses to Khabib, like Justin Gaethje, his next fight, he gets a title eliminator fight because everyone understands, well, he lost to a guy who's never lost before. And if you beat Khamzat, then forget about it. It doesn't even matter what his ranking is. You shoot up way to the top. So it's a good fight for anyone to take.
Yeah. Moving on from that conversation, I guess. I mean, Alex said that, I think Khamzat called out Sean Brady on Twitter. I think that's a great matchup. But, rounding out our Triple P certified picks, Pat Sabatini did what Sean Soriano couldn't do. He went out there against a guy who he should have had a better, in a sense, he won the 3rd round. He had the heart. Cody Durden also did what Pat Sabatini couldn't do. He won the 3rd round. He had the heart. Pat Sabatini had a great 1st round. I was like, oh my goodness. Everywhere they said that Nurdanbeki, whatever his name is, everywhere that they said he would succeed, Pat Sabatini has succeeded. He got the takedown. He ended up on top. He dominated the striking. He had a great 1st round. Wilted, lost the fight. Durden and I'm sorry, I'm talking about Soriano. Durden and Sabatini succeeded in those later rounds. I wish we Triple P certified Durden. We didn't, but Brady, Yanez, Sabatini, 3-3 Triple P certified. That brings us to 93 out of 126 in year 2. That's a 74% Triple P certified picks rating, 74% accuracy, 51 out of 61. That's very interesting, though. Last 10 cards were 51 out of 61. That means 2 things. That means, 1, we are 84%, trending upwards from our 74% year 2 average, 84%, 10% higher than our year 2 average so far over the course of over 100 Triple P certified picks. We're 84% over the last 10 events. But more importantly, the second thing, we are 61 picks out of the last 10 events. That means our average Triple P certified offering for you guys is 6 picks or more. So it's pretty good. Even though we only gave you 3 out of 3 last weekend, our average over the last 10 events, we're talking 6 Triple P certified picks at 84% accuracy over the last 10 events. You're welcome.
You are very welcome. And you know what? I'm glad we didn't Triple P certified Durden. I had Durden. Some idiot didn't take Durden. I don't know who it was, but I'm glad we didn't because his despicable comments. His despicable comments after the fight.
What comments? Because he said send him back to China?
Listen, man, I wouldn't even utter those words, okay?
Listen, he said, yeah, listen, come on. This is the fight game, not the nice game. We say it every week. He didn't say anything bad about China. This guy is from China. If he was from any other country, and he said, I'm going to send him, I sent him, if he was from another state, not if he was in the United States and he was from Nebraska, he said, I sent his ass back to Nebraska. That's fine. So why is it not okay to say I sent him back to China? The guy he lives in China. That's where he's going back to. He sent him back. I'm assuming it means I sent him back with a loss. Like I sent him packing. Like I said, come on, man. Let's not nitpick everything. It's the fight business, not the nice business. We say it every week.
Yeah, we hardly have to enter into the weeds on this one. It's just not even worth our breath. We all know that it's
Hey,
no outrage. It's clickbait.
let's just be happy. Let's just be happy he wants him to get home to China because, you know, some guys like Dan Hooker, they just got to stay abroad.
They have to stay abroad. Well, I mean, gotta. I mean, they get to stay in the greatest country on earth, and they don't have to go back to Jacinda Ardern land, aka New Zealand. We're gonna call it New Zealand. Will here be referred to as New Jacinta Dome, New Jacinta Tyranny, whatever. New Jacinta land. We'll refer to it as that. You guys aren't even as worldly as me. You don't even know the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinta Ardern.
Maybe workshop.
Both of you history majors, get out of here. It's the history show now. I'm going to tell you a little thing or two about New Zealand and why.
That's not history, bro. That's the here and now. That's poli-sci. That's political
you're
science.
Right. It's herstory because it's Prime Minister is female. I don't know if you know that. I don't even know if you know that Jacinda's a female. Anyway, we got a long card to break down. We should probably get into it. And honestly, let's be expedited. Let's not be, let's not dilly-dally. The next card, guys, isn't going to be until December 4th. December 4th, Saturday. We have an off week. This is the early prediction show, but I broke it all down for you guys. We have to get ahead of these bets. I did my 5-star criteria breakdown. I broke all. How many are there? I broke all 15 fights down using a 5-star criteria metric. My 5-star criteria metrics based on strength of schedule, activity, age, height and reach, and style. I looked at each fighter. I looked objectively at their height and reach, their age, their style, their strength of schedule, their activity. I looked objectively at all these things. I rated them. Whoever had the 3 out of 5, whoever tipped the scale, I gave them the criteria pick. And then I also, before doing that, did my gut pick. So I'm going to give you guys my gut picks and my criteria picks. Then I'm going to give you what I did after looking at the criteria.
So are we drawing this out or are we not drawing this out?
We're not drawing this out, but I'm giving anybody who's a new fan an understanding of how we do this. And this is my breakdown for UFC Vegas 44, right? 44?
Yep.
Also known as UFC Fight Night, Font versus Aldo. And let's start at the top of the card because, we broke down the last one. Is there anything else we really need to discuss, though? I really do feel that Nathan Levy got robbed against Rafael Garcia. I think that Rafael Garcia didn't land nearly as many strikes. He took a beating. Those strikes were so bludgeoning from Levy. And, Garcia landed a few takedowns, did nothing with them. Like, that was kind of a robbery.
Yeah, Alex disparaged Rafael Garcia and his wrestling, said that
I want to continue to disparage.
Because of his nationality, he couldn't wrestle. And guess what? He shoved it in your face, Alex. That's all I'm going to break down for that fight.
Listen, Nathan Levy didn't pull nearly as much Krav Maga as I wanted. He did not do any groin strikes. He did not do any eye pokes, as far as I'm concerned. I'm upset about it. I'm very upset about it. I differ from you, Luke. I thought Nathan Levy definitely lost the fight. I knew it was close on the scorecards. I thought he lost, but I wasn't going to be surprised if there was a robbery. I was hoping for a robbery, and if there was a robbery, I would have cashed out before the Miesha Tate fight. I would have. I had no faith in Miesha Tate whatsoever. But that being said, I did hedge on Ketlin Vieira to make a nice chunk of change when Miesha Tate was the last member of my parlay left. I did walk away with quite a handsome check this weekend, but lost it all on Sunday. Let's get on to the next card.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you went 9 out of 11. Did you walk away with any money? And I knew that you did from our private group message. So I knew that you went, you did well, but then you played football. Football is deceiving. It's not as easy to bet on as it looks. It's very deceiving.
Especially this year. This is a tough year to bet on the NFL. It's been pretty wild.
Hey, it's tough. All right. Anything else we should talk about? I mean, were there any other fights that stood out? We talked about Yanez versus Grant. We talked about Levy. The incorrect picks I had, I took Miesha Tate, got that one wrong. I took Joanne Wood. That was stupid as hell. And I knew not to take her, but I don't know why. I just thought that she was going to win for some reason at the very last minute. Kang, that's a good one to talk about. Kang blew it, man. He absolutely blew it. Great first round. Second round was like, okay, hey, no worries. Third round will be good. Same thing happens in the third round. Hanayaya, man, these guys, he was the spoiler of the night, I think. He probably spoiled the most parlays. Hanayaya.
Not mine, baby.
I Yeah, I mean, I didn't pick him, but Hanayaya, he's the guy that I'm sure over the course of his career spoiled a lot of parlays. I think everyone just overestimates this guy, and then he comes in and proves them wrong time in and time out. It's time that this guy gets an actual big fight, an actual big name, and give him a chance to crack into the top 15. He's earned it at this point.
He's the Glover share of his division. He needs a chance, you know. Like let the old man get a name opponent. Absolutely. All right. Speaking of old men and name opponents, we got Aldo versus Font. We're gonna break down UFC Vegas 44. Thank you for watching our recap. Hey, Alex did really well. We're all way above 60%. Let's move on. We have one more card to take us through, or one more week before we get to this card. But here are our early predictions. Let's get ahead of these lines. Alex, why don't you start? You had the best weekend last weekend, 9 out of 11. Why don't you start this week? Why don't you take us through the main event? Let's start at the top. 15 fights. Let's get these people going. Let's get everybody juiced. 15 fights. Aldo versus Font. How do you got this one?
Okay, so we got Rob Font versus Jose Aldo Jr. It's a big fight. Boston's Rob Font hasn't lost in quite some time. He's on a 4-fight winning streak. Hasn't lost since 2018. Coming off that big win against Cody Garbrandt as well as Marlon Moraes. Jose Aldo, on the other hand, also beat Marlon Vera recently and Pedro Munoz. This is a tough fight to call for me for sure. Everything in me says take Rob Font, take Rob Font, take Rob Font. But I'm going with Jose Aldo. You don't often get the King of Rio at underdog odds, but I already placed my bet for this card. I already placed it. I already know my picks pretty much. I might differ on a couple now that I'm looking at it, but I'm going with Jose Aldo here. Lukey, how about you?
Yeah, let's let Danny the Betman do his pick. Hold on, let's see.
Why do you never let me steer the ship?
I agree with you, Alex. I do think it's tough to pick, and I'm also leaning with Aldo on this one. When I first thought about this in my mind's eye, I thought that Rob Font would have a huge size advantage, a long reach advantage. But when we look at the intangibles here, they're actually pretty close in size. So I'm looking to see Aldo take advantage of having a little bit more well-rounded game as far as leg kicks, as far as the jiu-jitsu. If the volume's there, to me, I think Aldo should get, not a decisive victory, but I think he could definitely eke out 3 rounds if he doesn't get a knockout at some point. So they're also the same age, by the way. I thought Rob Font would be way younger. And yeah, Aldo's been racking up the mileage, but he's looked pretty fresh his last couple fights. So yeah, give me Aldo if I'm getting underdog value as well.
Yeah, and that's something I noticed too. And, you mentioned that Rob Font, you thought he'd be bigger. And that's because he usually is bigger than a lot of these guys at 135. But Aldo coming down from 45, he's a much bigger guy than a lot of these guys. And I honestly think he's going to take it to Rob Font.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to give strength of schedule to Aldo, obviously. Everything else is dead even, like you say, including the Tapology report. Tapology 53% favoring Aldo. I'm going to go with Rob Font here. I think that anybody who knows my betting history knows that I'm a kill your darlings kind of guy. I grew up in the sport loving Chuck Liddell only to see him get finished by Rich Franklin, only to see him get finished by Rashad Evans, only to see him get finished by Shogun, only to see him get – I mean, I grew up becoming a fan watching Chuck Liddell's highlights on UFC Unleashed and then ended up watching all of his live fights, him getting finished by everybody – including Tito Ortiz. I never really actually saw Chuck Liddell win a fight live. So I was hardened and calloused into understanding you got to kill your darlings. We saw Justin Gaethje kill Tony Ferguson. We saw Beneil Dariush beat up on who was it? Tony Ferguson. Yeah, right. So this is, and I know, hey, listen, Rob Font, he's not like Sean O'Malley. He's not like this young up and comer. He's old too. But Dan said it. 35 years old. Doesn't have the miles that Aldo has, much less miles, in fact. I've bet against Aldo in his fights on this podcast against Jan, Vera, and Munoz. I've only been right in the Jan fight. So I think I go 50-50 here with Aldo in my betting history with him on this podcast. I'm taking Font to get the win as the slight favorite, and I'm happy that Aldo's been performing the way he has because now I have a chance to get even with my betting with Aldo and not have to take Font as a sizable favorite. I mean, I get Font at pretty good odds. So the boxing of Rob Font, I think, can hang. I think The leg kicks aren't going to matter. Rob Font, maybe possibly by knockout. He's going to be a little bit more athletic in there.
Yeah, I could definitely see, this will be my last point. I could see Rob Font, speaking of the boxing, kind of lean in heavy on that front leg in that boxing stance, possibly leaving it open for the leg kicks. I'm sure he's going to have Aldo's leg kicks in mind, though. So maybe some checks will be coming that way, but something to look out for.
Cool. We'll just go counterclockwise down this little circle we have here. Dan, you can take us through this co-main event.
All right, so co-main event should be a good one. We have Rafael Fiziev versus Brad Riddell. I'm going to take Riddell in this one. Fiziev, his stock in my mind went down a little bit, just a notch against his matchup with Bobby Green, I do believe. He ended up getting the win, but it was a little too close for comfort. For me, didn't seem like the most dominant striker in the division, like I imagined going into that fight. Brad Riddell, with those city kickboxing feints, I think he's going to draw out Fiziev in a couple of vulnerable positions that Riddell could possibly take advantage of, and that's how I see this one going. I mean, Fiziev is no knock, you know, he's no scrub going in there, that's for sure. So he'll have his moments, but Riddell is, you know, not chinny. He's a really tough dude. He's going to be in there. He's going to be in his face. And again, I think the feints are going to play a big role. So I'm going to take Brad Riddell for the co-main event.
All right. And, you know, for me, it's going to be Rafael Fiziev. This is a tough one to call. I think Fiziev, if I look at both of their fights and I examine them both, I think Fiziev is just more dangerous, more crisp, more willing to bite down, get in there, close the distance, make it happen. I think Riddell is going to be a little bit more self-preserving. And I think in a fight like this, that comes to his demise because Fiziev's going to go in there and get it. Kind of the way that Chandler did against Hooker, if you think about it. I think Fiziev's just a scarier guy. I think he's just got more power. I think, you know, at best for Riddell, they're equal in terms of skill. And I think Riddell's just one of those guys more able to take a beating in this case. I think Fiziev will be the smarter fighter. He'll goat Riddell into a firefight. It could be fight of the night, or it could be knockout of the night. I think Fiziev might get a finish here. My main reason, I'm looking at the criteria. You know, the criteria is going to point even Stevens all down the board. Literally everything is even, from the activity to the height and reach, to the strength of schedule, to the age, to the style. I have everything even. Riddell is going to have, again, even on Tapology, 56%. But I'm
minus 110 piece.
These are two pick'ems that I'm super confident in, though. I'm going RF and RF. Rob Font and Rafael Fiziev. I'm very confident in both of them. I think that they're both going to get it done. And I think they're just both a little bit more quick, a little bit more fast twitch, a little bit better reflexes, a little bit less wars, a little bit more a little bit more willing to throw themselves into the fire based on the previous experience that they've had. They haven't been in as many wars. The Bobby Green fight, you say that Rafael Fiziev's stock went down. For me, it went up. Look what Bobby Green just did against Ally Quinta. Ally Quinta's a beast, you know? And he just went in there and finished him. Bobby Green's been on a sick run, dude. Like, that was a robbery almost for Bobby Green, and that was like the one fight he lost. And like, Bobby Green's underrated, right? I mean, Rafael Fiziev, maybe it's been a little bit overrated, but I don't know. I think he's just rated appropriately. The Bobby Green fight, yeah. Bobby Green's hard. He's a tough puzzle to crack. And Rafael Fiziev, he brought the fight to him. You know, a counter striker, Philly shell, high shoulder, like backing up the whole time. Like, Bobby Green is tough, you know, and Rafael went forward on him.
Yeah, for me, this is also a very tough fight to call. My heart says Rafael Fiziev, but I think Brad Riddell might be a little bit more well-rounded. This is a little bit of a Tiger Muay Thai rivalry here. Brad Riddell did spend some time there as well. You got to think they might have seen each other in the gym. I think Brad Riddell might get some sneaky takedowns in this fight and be able to equalize with that and probably get a decision. I think that they're pretty even. Rafael might be a little bit better on the feet, and I think Brad Riddell might be able to get him down once or twice in this fight, and Brad Riddell will squeak away with a win.
Here's my thing, though. Brad Riddell hasn't been in America like Dan Hooker. He's still in New Zealand or Australia. It's a communist dictatorship up there. You cannot even go to your neighbor's house for a cup of sugar without getting arrested. It is crazy. So how is Brad Riddell's training compared to Fiziev's? Fiziev. Fiziev,
He's going the Max Holloway route.
Bangkok ready. Yeah.
Bangkok ready. I don't. He might be benefiting from it. A little bit of,
Did Dan Hooker benefit from it when Islam Makhachev cut through him like butter? Nasrat Haqparast, he's on the verge of being a busted prospect. I mean, the way that he's performing lately. I mean, has Faraz Zahabi produced a decent fighter outside of George St. Pierre and Rory McDonald and maybe Arnold Allen like at all? I don't know. Has he? You tell me. I mean, you look at the busted prospects to come out of TriStar. You got the guy that the Leech choked out. What's his name? Who even knows at this
Andrew
point?
Sanchez?
No, the guy the Leech choked out. Who even knows? Who cares? Let's move on. All right. He was a hot prospect. Damn it. Either way, Matt Brown versus Bryan Barberena. To me, this one's super easy. Bryan Barberena, the way that he fought Jason Witt in that third round, he was going for the finish. Jason Witt got so lucky, and I was on the Witt side there. Took Jason Witt, I think, as an underdog against Barberena. He got the win, but damn, dude, that was tough. That was close. Bryan Barberena slings bones. He is not going to get knocked out by Matt Brown. He will eat whatever Matt Brown throws, probably knock Matt Brown out in the first or second round. Barberena by knockout.
Yeah, first I was thinking Matt Brown for this one because I'm not very impressed by Bryan Barberena's technique specifically.
Nor am I.
And I think that certainly Matt Brown has better technique, but I think that the age is really going to be in effect in this one. I mean, Matt Brown, he's seen better days. The best he did knock out Diego Lima.
Yeah, and listen, I was on Diego Lima on that fight. You guys, like I said, kill your darlings. Matt Brown, Matt Serra versus Matt Hughes Ultimate Fighter season, the introductory season to my fandom into the UFC, the first season of the Ultimate Fighter I watched. I love Matt Brown. That being said,
they put hot sauce in his damn chewing tobacco.
Hey, there were seasons of the Ultimate Fighter where they put a lot worse in food. So I don't even want to, the front. But hey, Matt Brown was ready to sling bones that day. You don't mess with a man's shoe. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's 2 steps away from putting fentanyl in somebody's product.
You don't taint some good Copenhagen, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I want to go with the Immortal. Every bone in my body wants the Immortal here, but I'm going with Bryan Barberena. I just think that he is too tough to handle. I don't think he's going to get put down by Matt Brown. I think that might be Matt Brown's real only route because I think Bryan Barberena is going to sling some hammers at him, and Matt Brown will be the one who wears the damage more. He will be the guy who gets dropped to his butt a couple times in the fight. Bryan Barberena has a jaw of granite. A car accident couldn't take that guy out.
This is Matt Mitrione versus Fedor at welterweight.
I could see that. Double knockout.
This is Matt Mitrione at Fedor because it's Fedor and it's Matt Mitrione.
Yeah.
You feel dirty picking Matt Mitrione, but it's like, who's going to be the one getting their hand raised? We know what the cool pick is. Matt Brown is the cool pick. You got to pick Matt Mitrione here.
And Danny Boy is cool as ice, cold as ice. They call him Iceberg Danny.
Yeah, this is great matchmaking is what it really is. This is going to be as fun as it lasts. Don't think it's going to last all 15 minutes here, and I think this will be our first Triple P certified pick. I'm also going to go with Bryan Barberena. Two sluggers in there, not going to be all that much technical striking, although of the two, I think I'll give the technical striking to Matt Brown. But when you talk about not necessarily experience, but recent opponents, we're looking at Bryan Barberena going up against the likes of Vicente Luque, Randy Brown, and although he's getting finished by them, he's getting finished late. And these are supremely technical strikers as opposed to who he's going to be up against in Matt Brown. And again, guy who's had so many miles on him, a ton of damage. At this point, kind of chinny, right? You don't want to be chinny against a guy like Bryan Barberena. So I think round 2 would be a nice little knockout sprinkle prop if you want to go that way. And give me Bryan Barberena, even though I guess I'm giving the technical striking advantage to Matt Brown.
Like,
yeah,
you
and
just said
Dan,
you give this striking advantage to Brown, and then you say
No,
Bryan Barberena is going to
technical,
knock
like
him out in the second
technique.
round.
Technique is a lot different than just overall who's going to win.
No, I know exactly what you mean, because I think that if you quiz them both, if striking was converted into chess and they got to make decisions, I think Matt Brown is the more sophisticated striker if you give him the time. But I think that his brain has been deteriorated through the wars he's been in, whereas Bryan Barberena getting that time off because of his injury probably helped him in this case, because now he's coming in with a fresh mind. I think Bryan Barberena could stand there like those Russian slap fighting organizations, grab Matt Brown's hand and go slap for slap, and Bryan Barberena would win, because I think he can take more damage. And in a UFC fight of this caliber, if he just goes out there and boom, 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 plays pinball with Matt Brown's fist for a couple rounds while Matt Brown tires himself out, he's going to end up connecting and he's going to land the knockout. So I think Bryan Barberena can knock him out. But hey, if Matt Brown wins, that's one of those fights. It's like, hey, whatever. It's like the Davey Grant fight. I picked Yanez, but I was ready to root for Davey Grant while the fight's going on, because that was inspirational. It's like him throwing that fucking kick at the beginning, like that was amazing, And
Dan, you mentioned that Bryan Barberena's last opponents were very technical strikers. On top of that, they were very fast twitch guys, very fast guys, contenders, guys who are in the top 15 of the division. So you got to lean with Bryan Barberena here for sure.
Right, completely
Do you
different
though? Because
styles.
what you just said kind of contradicts that, because it's like
why? Because Bryan Barberena has fought better people in his last fights, and now he's getting a downgrade in his opponent.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant because like you would expect a fast switch guy to be able to beat an older over the hill kind of fighter like Matt Brown.
No, I was saying
wrong. Matt Brown proved us wrong. He beat.
I was saying the guys that he lost to, Matt Brown is not, because these guys were superior technical strikers, but also had fast twitch muscle, fast guys, young guys, still hungry in their career. Vicente Luque is a contender, a bona fide contender right now. He should fight Sean Brady. He should fight Sean Brady's ass.
That would be a good fight. He had a good showing in those fights too, even though he ended up losing. But he got destroyed.
Absolutely.
Let's not spend too much time on this 170-pound clash, because we get a middleweight clash that is probably the most interesting fight on the card, or at least one of three, in my opinion, now that I'm looking at the full card. Yeah, this is definitely one of three that we're going to get to that are the most interesting of the night, I think. Brandon Allen taking on Roman Dolidze. Now, this is interesting because Roman Dolidze was going to take on Kyle Dawkins, and they had some sort of situation. Now he's taking on Brandon Allen, who has a common opponent in Kyle Dawkins. One of the introductory fights we picked going into this podcast, I think we Triple B certified Brandon Allen in that one. And he beats Kyle Dawkins, gets superior ground control. That's Kyle Dawkins' world. He's since been, bested, whatever you want to call it, by a couple guys on the ground, but had great success in his last fight with Kevin Holland. Now he's going in there a little bit bigger, a little bit brawnier, a little bit more confident, not his UFC debut. He's going in there against the guy Brandon Allen is now in Roman Dolidze, and it's like Brandon Allen has such great ring IQ. Dolidze has such poor ring IQ. How do you break this one down, Dan? Go ahead, give us your breakdown.
I'm pretty confident on the Allen side on this one. His last fight, he looked really good. We know the jiu-jitsu is always there, the grappling's going to always be there, but his striking looked really crisp, dude. And cardio, just everything was there. He really seems like he's a young fighter that's putting it all together at just the right time. Roman Dolidze, like you said, not the best ring IQ. I have cardio questions for sure. And I just think that Brendan Allen is not going to be finding himself in any tough situations. I mean, he handled Puna Soriano. So, if he's not going to get knocked out by him, I don't see him getting knocked out by a less technical, less powerful fighter in Roman Dolidze. So give me Brendan Allen, and I'm pretty confident on this end here.
Yeah, I'm breaking all my rules on this card. I never go against Georgia. I never do, ever. And, you said that Roman doesn't have very good ring IQ. I wouldn't say Brendan Allen has the best either. That fight against Sean Strickland, we were begging him to take Sean Strickland down. Begging, please take Sean Strickland down. But he would not. He got baited into a gunfight, and Sean Strickland had the bigger weapon that night. I'm going to go with Brendan Allen here. I am hesitant. Yes, this is going to be a tough fight for Brendan Allen. I don't know who's favored in this one. I really don't. If anybody has the odds. Actually, I don't think it's on DraftKings yet. It's not in my parlay at this point. Brendan Allen is an absolute dog. He's an absolute beast. Roman Dolidze better not play because he's playing with fire in this one, and Brendan Allen will put him away if he starts playing around too much.
So if you look at my pick so far, the criteria is going to lean to Aldo. It's even Stevens against Rafael Fiziev and Brad Riddell. The criteria, and by the way, the criteria is strength of schedule, activity, height and reach, age and style. I also take into account topology to break ties in terms of the topology voting. So if you look at the criteria picks, they are Aldo, even Stevens, Brown, and Brandon Allen. Because Brandon Allen's going to have a better strength of schedule. He's going to have a 8-year age advantage. He's 8 years younger than Roman Dolidze. Brandon Allen also 65% to win. Or sorry, that's Matt Brown. 65% to win on Tapology. Brandon Allen is 92% to win on Tapology. So Brandon Allen all across the board as far as my own personal criteria metrics go. But I'm taking Roman Dolidze. That was my gut pick. That's the one I'm going to stay with. I like Roman Dolidze. He's been a guy that I've looked to pick, just like I looked to pick Ian Cutelaba. Has the Ian Cutelaba one come to fruition? Only in the Dustin Jacoby fight, really. I mean, it never really has paid off in any of the other bouts that I've picked him. But I like Roman Dolidze here. I think you're getting great value on him here. Roman Dolidze getting his hand raised by knockout. Roman Dolidze by knockout. Let's bring the boys back.
Beautiful.
Moving into the next one, we got so no triple P certification for Allen. The boys are taking Allen. I'm taking Roman. William Knight versus Alonzo Menifield. I'll make my pick quick, guys. Again, for the 5th time. I mean, from the top to the bottom. I didn't even realize this, but my gut pick contradicts my criteria pick. Alonzo Menifield has a better strength of schedule. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage. Everything else is even. He's got a 64% topology pick to win. So I'm going with William Knight. I think William Knight can take whatever Zoe puts out and can knock him out. If OSP can knock out Alonzo Menifield, William Knight certainly can. Love William Knight, respect William Knight, taking William Knight. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He's going to be taking the Night Train home. He's going to get knocked out. Shout out to Night Train, Jeremy Lane, one of the greatest corners of all time. I'm going with William Knight here. You say Alonzo has the criteria. I don't know what criteria you're talking about. Nightmare goes out there and gets it done all day. The only people he's lost to were Daun Jung and Tafan and Chukwi. He's going to go out there and he's going to knock Alonzo Menifield out violently. He might have to leave on a stretcher.
I told you the criteria. The criteria was the reach, and the criteria, he has a 3-inch reach advantage, and he has
or a 3-inch.
He has a better strength of schedule.
3-inch reach,
and he has a better strength of schedule. He's been in there against a stronger caliber opponent than William.
Who?
Alonzo Menifield fought OSP.
Okay, next.
Dan, go ahead. I'll pull
Devin Clark, your favorite.
No, yeah, that is not true.
Yeah, we've broken this fight down like 19 times, I feel like. Do you guys also have that impression? I feel like every year we do William Knight versus Alonzo Menifield. This fight has been rescheduled multiple times. Let's look into that. But, yeah, another good matchmaking by the UFC here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun fights. 3 times it's been rescheduled. And yeah, I'll give this slight advantage to William Knight. Seems like a bit of a freak athlete here as far as amount of muscle he's carrying, but the cardio there he's got going in too. He throws a ton of volume, and I think that's going to win the day against Alonzo Menifield. Menifield's been looking better as of late, but I think he's pretty much reached his ceiling, whereas William Knight is just above that at this point in time. So give me the Night Train.
What about Paul Craig, Alex?
Paul Craig is a bad man.
Alonzo Menifield finished him first round.
Well, it depends on what night you catch Paul Craig. The thing about Paul Craig is you either get bit or he bites you. Wait, either he gets bit or he bites you.
Who's biting who? What?
A fool can't get fooled again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Paul Craig will bite.
All right, so let's move on. Next fight, guys. Who wants to?
We have
this is actually
Claudio Puelles versus Chris Gruetzemacher. I feel like you guys wait for like the hardest names, and
I have a lot of criteria. I have a lot of criteria to say. You want me to start us off? Just
spit it out, because I'm lost.
Chris Gruetzemacher, you will remember him. He spoiled your parlay when you took Rafael Garcia as a minus 300 something. And Rafael Garcia spoiled all of our parlays when we took Natan Levy.
Just like he did my weekend last night.
Yeah, exactly. So Chris Gruetzemacher is connected to Rafael Garcia, who we hate. So we got to be wary of this one. Because we don't want to get led astray by our guts. We don't want to get led astray. My gut was telling me to pick Chris Gruetzemacher because he spoiled my party when he spoiled my Rafael Garcia parlays, right? So that was my gut. Then I look into it. I see that Gruetzemacher, yeah, he's had a pretty good strength of schedule, but he's going to surrender a 4-inch reach and a 3-inch height disadvantage to Claudio Puelles. Not to mention, Claudio Puelles is 10 years younger than him, guys. Typology has Claudio Puelles to win at 82%. I think Claudio Puelles is going to win. That's the criteria pick, and that's who I am going to switch my gut to. I'm agreeing with the criteria for the first time tonight. I'm going with the criteria pick on this one, Claudio Puelles.
You know what? I'm not going to have all that much to add to this one, Lukey. I'm going to defer to you. Seems like the criteria is matching up in all the right ways.
10 years.
Whether it's the age, yeah, that was the first thing I was going to say. 10 years, that's a bit of a reach that I don't want to really shoot for there. Coming off a win against Rafa Garcia, we saw him put together a bit of a good show the other night. So, or no, that's actually Gruetzemacher. My fault there.
No, but we're saying, yeah, it was the connection because his last fight, he spoiled the party he beat Gruetzemacher.
Right.
Or he beat Garcia.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tentatively go with Puelles there, just because of just all the intangibles that he's going to be coming in with as far as his advantages there. So we'll stick with that one.
Well, fellas, we might just have to do a recap for this one because I'm going with Grits. I'm going with Gruetzemacher. I think he's just the grittier guy here. This pretty boy Claudio, he's 25 years old. He doesn't know which way is up. The older, more established guy. And you know what? I've been getting a lot of success off betting the older guy who's more established, has more fights. Yeah, he might not have the best record, but he goes out there and he slugs it out. This guy forced Joe Lozon, one of the toughest guys out there, into retirement. So, I mean, that's not the reason I'm picking him specifically, but he's a tough son of a gun. I'm going to go with Gruetzemacher here. No triple P certification for this one, fellas. I'm sorry.
Hey, no problem. We'll revisit this one in a week. Guys, this is the early prediction show. We got a week hiatus, no fights next Saturday. So we're just giving you these picks early so you can beat the lines if you want. We'll come back next Monday. We'll revisit it, and we'll revisit it a third time after the weigh-ins. This is one of those bonus weeks where you get a lot of data and we get a lot of content. It's a lot of fun. We're not going to leave you high and dry. We're going to keep providing the content. Dan, to me, this is since we broke down Brandon Allen versus Roman Dolideze, this is to me the second most interesting fight of the night. This is Jimmy Crute versus Jamahal Hill, two young hammers. How do you see this one going? Why don't you take us through this one, and Alex, you're after him.
Yeah, both of these guys coming off of interesting losses, right? Whether it's the Jimmy Crute injury or the Jamahal Hill, Paul Craig submission injury there. I'm going to go with Jamahal Hill. I believe he's an underdog in this one. I might be wrong, but I just think he's going to have a clear athletic advantage. I think he's going to have a clear striking advantage. And I think he has just the physicality to keep this thing on its feet, keep it a kickboxing match. I respect Jimmy Crute. I think he brings a lot to the game, and I think he's going to be a contender for a long time in the light heavyweight division. But I think, what we talk about on this show a lot is you're looking at people not where they were, but where they're going to be. And I think Jamahal Hill has been making really big strides each and every fight. And I expect him to be, by the time Saturday rolls around, December 4th, just a little bit above Jimmy Crute and all of the metrics that really matter to win a fight. So give me Jamahal Hill going to be 9-1 in his early MMA career.
Yeah, you're an absolute idiot. No way around it. You're a complete fool. And
Didn't you bet Misha Tate last week?
Didn't I go 9 out of 11? You fucking swine! Didn't I get 2 more picks than? Didn't I get 2 more picks correct than you? You swine!
Go ahead, go with your wrong pick. Go.
You swine! Yeah. Dan gets the two picks I get wrong correct. Yeah, he gets those 2 picks wrong. Look down the list. Look at all 4. That means I got 4 picks correct that he got wrong. This schmuck. He's bringing up 1 fight I got wrong last week. Okay.
I got the main event right, bitch. That's what the people come to the show for, the main event.
Is it what they come to the show for?
All right, but anyway, we got Jamahal Hill versus Jimmy the Brute Crute. Listen, Dan is an idiot. He's talking about where people are at and where they're going to be. Jimmy the Brute Crute has more fights. He's a younger guy, 5 years younger. Jamahal Hill is 30 years old. Definitely still in the prime of the athletic prime of a man's life, for sure. I mean, if this was women's MMA, we'd be – exactly. If this was women's MMA, we'd be second thinking that 3-0. But I'm going with Jimmy the Brute Crute here. Dan says he's going to be able to keep it on the feet, this Jamahal Hill guy, Jamahal Hill. He's not going to be able to keep it on his feet. He got his arm broken by – Paul Craig, and Paul Craig wouldn't know a takedown if it smacked him in the face. Jimmy the Brute Crute. Jimmy the Brute Crute has way better takedowns than Paul Craig. Jimmy the Brute Crute will get him to the ground. He will submit him, more than likely Kimura.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. For me, this was one of the harder ones to pick. I'm going to go with Jimmy the Brute Crute. Really just want to watch this one from an entertainment perspective. No idea how it's going to go. I think both guys have so many different strengths. Jamahal Hill getting his arm broken by Paul Craig, not tapping. Brilliant display of heart, brilliant display of character. Amazing fighter, Jamahal Hill. I want to bet again. I want to bet with him. I want to pick him. This is a fight where I wanted to pick both these guys. I wish they weren't coming into each other's collision course because I'd like to be able to pick Hill. I'd like to be able to pick Crute. Got to pick Crute here. Just think he's built for a little bit more damage. I think he can take a little bit more, dish out a little bit more. I think Hill is not going to be able to take what Crute's throwing. And I want to agree with Dan, though, because Crute was getting pieced up by Anthony Smith with the jab first round before he got that drop foot. And listen, that's a fight. That's a sore subject to me. I picked Crute in that fight. If Crute had won, I would have won $20,000 off a $100 bet. $100 bet, 8-fight parlay, $20,000 win. Crute lost, and I did not win $20,000 that night. Now, he was getting pieced up with the jab. The best thing that happened to him was that drop foot, because then he got the takedown and realized, oh, I can take Anthony Smith down at will and probably submit him. He's going to take Jamahal Hill down. He's going to submit him, or he's going to ground and pound him. And Jimmy Crute probably inside the distance.
And, you know, Luke, you bring up a great point. These are both guys we love. These are both guys we have won money on multiple times.
So then why is Dan an idiot, Alex? Apologize.
Because here's why Dan's an idiot, okay? And I'll lay it out very bluntly and very simply. He just said, aim where somebody's going to be, not where they're at.
I say that every week.
He said it for a guy who's older. He said it for the older guy. He said it for a 30-year-old man just getting into this.
But he's 30. 30's not old.
He only has 10. This is going to be his 10th MMA fight.
And give me a 27.
He's got 8 good years left.
Give me a 27 to 33-year-old over a 23-year-old.
Jimmy the Brute's 25. Beautiful.
Right, but I'm saying, you know, somebody.
Listen, all I'm saying is he's got 8 good years left. Jimmy the Brute Crute has 13. Jimmy the Brute Crute is on title trajectory. Jamahal Hill is on OSP trajectory. That's all.
Do you guys think I look buff?
Yeah, kind of.
No, you look soft. You look soft.
I was doing pull-ups today. I didn't know.
It's a nice tight shirt.
How many pull-ups do you guys do?
I could literally do as many as I wanted.
Dan, how many do you do?
I do as many as I want every day.
I just got Alex's answer at 0. He doesn't want to do any, so he can do as many as 0.
I don't think the frames of my doors are strong enough for the pull down. I got to find a better framing for my doors.
That means you got fat. You got to lose.
That means you got to lose some weight. That's what that means.
That means you got to start with sit-ups.
Yeah, maybe I should.
All right, so 2 for Crute, 1 for Hill. Dan's going with Hill. Zalgas Zhumagulov versus Manel Kape. Another very interesting one. The criteria is going to have it for Kape in my eyes. I think Kape's got a 2-inch reach advantage. 5-year age advantage. By the way, Crute had a 5-year age advantage. Another thing. 81% topology favors Crute. 79 favors Kape. I'm going to agree with the criteria and the topology for the second time tonight. I'm going to go with Kape. Manel Kape's disappointed in the past. Starboy is certainly disappointed in his first few UFC fights. Then he goes out there and knocks out Ode Osborne, who had a great performance in Manhattan the other day when we were watching the fights.
Wait. But Luke.
What?
You don't know Zhumagulov? He beat your guy, Jerome Rivera. You were very high on it.
Yes, exactly. But Ode Osborne came out. He was able to get the win, and recently, right, Kape beat Ode. Ode proved himself, got a win at Madison Square Garden recently. And I think that Kape's going to prove that Zalgas is good at taking a punch. I think he's going to piece him up. I think people are going to say, how did Zalgas survive that? I think Kape's going to dish out a lot of damage. Listen, I don't like Zalgas. You're right. He beat up Jerome Rivera. I didn't like that. I was high on Jerome in that fight. But I'm taking Kape here. Zalgas, I'm not scared of you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Starboy as well. As much as I really don't want to, I'm going with Starboy here. I mean, dude, Zalgas Zhumagulov beat the dude who fought Demetrius Johnson all juiced up, Ali Bagatukov, and whooped him. And you know if he was juiced up in the UFC, he was juiced up in Fight Nights Global.
5-year age advantage for Manel Kape. 2-inch reach advantage for Manel Kape. Everything else, I mean, listen, Zalgas has a very boxy stance. He is not the best striker. Kape is going to wing wild kicks and flying knees at him until he lowers.
Yeah, and that was exactly my point.
And that is going to cut through him like a hot knife through.
And that's exactly what I was about to get to. If you can't like impose your will and take down Almir Albazi and impose your will and take down Halim Paiva, then you're gonna have issues with Starboy because he's way stronger, way more athletic. And I think he will be able to escape a takedown in some Ronaldo-esque fashion, running around like the Portuguese. What is a Portuguese person called?
Portuguese.
No, like we're an American, a Portuguese, a Portugali.
Good question, actually. I don't know.
Portrelli.
You know, I actually have some close relatives
Portuguese
in Portugal right now. I could call them, but I don't have WhatsApp downloaded right now. I delete it when I leave other countries. Come back to America, I usually delete WhatsApp, but I re-download it when I go international. Because you guys know I'm an international boy, you know what I mean? He saw me in Costa Rica the other day, hanging out. It's a blue zone, look it up. Anyway, let's get into the next fight.
Hold on, let me give you my pick real quick. I'm going to go with Zalgas Zhumagulov. Think he's going to get in there all day. Not going to get knocked out. Manel Kape, serious cardio issues that are going to rise to the forefront in this fight. Not so with Double Z here. No cardio issues whatsoever. No toughness issues whatsoever. There's going to be a ton of volume. There's going to be takedown events that, they might get spammed, but they're going to be draining that gas tank once again of Manel Kape. So, yeah, man, Double Z, he's had a couple good outings in his past few fights here. We got, as I'm looking it up, Jerome Rivera. Yeah, he sucks. Luke likes him, but he sucks. But he finished him in the first round. And previous to that, Amir Albazi and Julian Paiva, big-time contenders here. So had a rough go to start off his UFC career, but I think it's going with upward trajectory, and it's going to continue with a win over Manel Kape.
All right, so what are our Triple P certified picks so far? We got Bryan Barberena. That's the only one.
Might be.
Because you took Brandon Allen. I took Fiziev. I took Font. You guys took Aldo. You guys took Riddell for the most part.
I took Gruetzemacher.
Alex, did you take Fiziev or Riddell?
I took Riddell.
So you took Aldo. You took Riddell. We all took Barberena. One of you, if not both of you, took Allen.
I took Allen.
You guys both took Allen. I took Doladeze. I took Knight. Who took Menifield?
None of us.
So all right, so Bryan
William
Barberena, William Knight. I took Puelles, but Alex took Gruetzemacher, subject to change. I took Crute, Alex took Crute, Bittman took Hill, I took Kape, Bittman took Zhumagulov. So far we have 2 trophy certified picks: Bryan Barberena and William Knight.
Beautiful.
Hey, both are green lit on my and I'll show you at the end of the episode, guys. Both are green lit on mine. I have a green, yellow, red system for the 15 fights. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green picks, 1, 2, 3, 4 yellows, and I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red. 6. No, I moved 1. Yeah, so I have 5, 5, and 4, 5, 5, and whatever, 5, 5, and 5. I think it's pretty equal. Yellow, red, green.
Which one's the best?
I did my due diligence. I was so heartbroken after, like, just thinking, like, man, I got 2 weeks until the next UFC card. The fights were done. I was left with blue balls after the Tate versus Vieira fight. Not that it wasn't a good fight, but it just the whole card kind of just didn't feel right. The Levy loss didn't sit well. The Tate loss I'm fine with, but the ones I got wrong, I got wrong Tate, Kang, Wood, and Soriano and Levy, but like I didn't have Wood on every single one. Kang, I felt bad about that one. I felt bad about the Levy loss. I felt bad about the Soriano loss. There were 3 losses. There were three decisions, like 3 not very good decisions.
Salty taste.
Yeah. So I just got right into my research. If I could show you guys the spreadsheet, it would. I broke down the 5-star criteria. Then I rated them all about red, green, yellow system, like which ones I'm confident on, and then why. So far, it's like, why do I got Rob Font? Because of the miles. Why do I got Fiziev? The skill. I think just a little bit better skill, a little bit more of an edge. Barberena, 8 years. I got him because of the 8 years. I got Roman Deladeze. He's not yellow. He's not green. The first 3 are green. He's not green. He's red. I got him because of psychoticness. I got William Knight because of athletics. I got Puelles because he's got a 10-year age advantage. I got Crute. He's got a 5-year age advantage. And I got Kape. He's got a 5-year age advantage. But, Kape I got in the yellow zone. Crute I got in the red zone. I feel, Dan, to your credit, I feel that's a very competitive fight. I have him in the red, 3rd tier. Puelles I got in the yellow zone. So moving forward, we got Luis Smolka versus Vincent Moraes. I'm so surprised Vincent Moraes is the underdog after losing only a few seconds of that fight against Dawson. He was on his way to winning a decision against Dawson, ends up getting knocked out with seconds to go.
I think you're thinking of the wrong guy.
Thinking of Santos, which is later on.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's Leonardo Santos.
Vendetta, on the other hand, he won against Draco Rodriguez in his last fight when you said Draco was acting like a dork on the way to the weigh-ins.
Sorry, yeah.
So you want me to take it from here? Yeah, so he lost to Chris Gutierrez and Benito Lopez. Listen, Vince Morales, Vendetta, not very good. Pretty old to be 10-5. Luis Smolka, surprisingly young. I will put an asterisk on this fight. This is my Maurice Green alcoholic fight of the night. We got Luis Smolka in the red corner. I'm going with
alcohol's
Luis
pretty good.
Asterisks on this pick though for Luis Smolka, as long as he didn't have too much drinky recently. And I will find out. I will do a deep dive.
You naughty. You teasing me. You naughty.
And I will find out. I will have my chief of staff get right on this. They will look into his records right this second. They will go through all of his Instagram lives, all of his Instagram reels, all the above, just to make sure he wasn't doing a little too much drinky before this fight, before I put my money down, because I care about you people.
Yeah, this fight is gross from the betting perspective. I want nothing to do with this one. Don't even really like it as a fan too much, which is pretty rare for me. But I'm going to go with Vince Morales. Just going off the eye test, really. I'm looking at a guy who's a little bit more violent, a little bit more physical in there at this point in his career. Luis Smolka, maybe he's not as old as I thought he was, but that's probably because when I look at him, I see a guy who's he looks old. He seems like an old man, which does not bode well for a UFC fighter. So, give me Vince Morales in this one. But
Dan, you do know Luis Smolka is the younger man, correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. that doesn't help his case that he's younger but looks and seems older.
You're using the Stevie Wonder eye test for this one, buddy.
I guess so.
Yeah. So for me, it's like this. When someone decides to not drink anymore and come back to training hard and like being a professional athlete, to me, it's like you don't just automatically rise to the level of your competition. It's like you also still lost those years where you weren't training as hard as you could have been, right? So I feel like Moraes is primed to win here. Definitely pick Draco Rodriguez in the fight against Moraes, and he surprised me there. Draco Rodriguez, I see, is a lot better than Alex sees as Draco is. Giving the
you're the one who said he was a dork. You said he went up at the weigh-ins, acted like a clown, and got his butt handed to him.
I don't remember saying that.
Okay.
I still remember saying that. I mean, I'm picking Vincent Moraes. Let's move on, though. Jake Matthews versus Jeremiah Wells. Insanely hard fight to pick. What do you guys think?
I'm going with Jeremiah Wells here. Renzo Gracie Philly has been red hot fire. And if you listen to Sean Brady's post-fight press conference, you know the boys have to have that thing on them when they go to practice because those downtown streets of Philly are rough and tumble. Dan can tell you himself. He walks by them every day. Dan, this is not your territory, but I will let you roam around for now. I'm going with Jeremiah Wells here. This is a very tough fight to pick. Jake Matthews has all of my criteria, my triple B Bobteria over here. Jake Matthews checks off all the boxes. He's younger. He's more talented. He has way more experience. But there's something about this kid, Jeremiah Wells. He's going to go out there and maybe stiff line him.
Oh, Alex, just always wrong about the Philly picks. Once again, thinking that Renzo Gracie is the true BJJ school in the great city of Philadelphia. You are incorrect, sir. That would be Martinez BJJ, home of the Daukaus brothers. So listen, the Renzo tag isn't really sweetening the deal for me on this one. I'm going to go with Jake Matthews. You know, regardless of, the quarantine situation going on in Australia, I think that Jake Matthews is, a consummate professional, has just racked up well over, probably over 10 UFC fights at this point in time. The wrestling is going to be there. It's going to be a grimy match. I think it's going to be a smother fest, and for the advantage being of Jake Matthews in this one. So give me the Aussie.
For one, Dan, Pat Sabatini and Sean Brady are both coming out of Renzo Gracie's. And all of my jiu-jitsu brethren who are watching this, please forgive my poor brother down here what he says. He knows not. He has no idea the bounds of Renzinho, how deep those hoots go. Please forgive him. Please forgive him. Lukey, take it away.
That was very generous of you, Alex. That was very generous of you. All right, so sorry about Dan. Let me just say that. Okay, so what Alex said, everything that he said, my instinct was to pick Jeremiah Wells. I saw 8-year age advantage for Matthews, got a little spooked. I'm back on Wells. Alex convinced me. I told myself when I reviewed the tape and I saw that Alex was ahead 68%, Dan was behind 63%, I'm in the middle 66%. I said, Luke, if you're going to be swayed one way or the other, get swayed by Alex. Don't get swayed by Dan. There are some instances where Dan is right, but it's not this one, I think. Matthews, he is talented, but think about it, man. His best win, what is it, like Diego Sanchez? Like, come on, man. Diego Sanchez, he barely even got Diego out of there, right? I mean, so Jake Matthews, 8-year age advantage. Wells, 3-inch reach advantage. I think Wells, I think he can get this one. Alex, I think, said it best. Going with Wells. I told myself I was going to start. I said in the shower, I was like, start going with Alex a little bit more when it's a Alex Dan split. Go with Alex. What are you drinking there? I know we don't do sponsors, but that looks interesting. What is that from Bonesaw? Yeah, local brewery.
Listen, it's local, so I will give them a sponsor. The man who owns it did do surgery on my ankle. I am forever indebted to him. It is Bonesaw Brewery. It is a swoosh.
Wait, so a guy who makes alcohol did surgery on you?
Yeah,
did you not pay for the surgery?
I think insurance does that, right? I don't think I pay, right?
Alex, no such thing as a free lunch. Oh my god, guys, see what I deal with. You can tell I'm the only one who went to business school here. These guys are always coming to me asking for raises. I'm like, guys, we don't make any money. Like, this is like, you don't. They're always like, but I'm entitled. I'm a millennial. I'm like, you guys don't get it. You didn't go to business school.
And listen, I will quit the show at any time. Like, I don't care about this. You think I don't care now? You should.
You already quit and you came crawling back. You already quit. You came.
You should see the episodes from last year. If you think I don't care now, look at the episodes from last year. You'll see why my pick rating was so low. I study even less now than I did ever, and I've been shooting from the hip, shooting clean from the hip. I'm Hip Fire McGee over here. Red Dead Redemption 2. That's me. I'm John Marston. Nice to meet you.
It was just
gonna let that hang. Gonna let that one hang.
All right, so Guida versus Santos. Listen, another instance where there's, a 5-inch height, 5-inch reach advantage for Santos. You got to give Guida the strength of schedule. You got to give Guida. Wait a minute. Why did I put even for strength of schedule? Does Santos somehow have a better? No,
he was whooping Grant Dawson's ass for.
Yeah, I mean that is true.
15 minutes straight.
Yeah.
He fought Stevie Ray. He fought Kevin Lee. He fought Anthony Rocket Martin.
Believe it or not, these guys are equal as far as age goes, but I gotta think Clay Guida's got the miles on him. My gut was to go with Guida, just because he's been very impressive, and I love Guida, Patriot, big time Patriot. But 5-inch reach, 5-inch height advantage. I'm going with Santos. He was whooping on Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson got lucky. Nobody expects to win from that position. Santos got caught slipping, got caught sleeping, got put to sleep. I'm going with Santos. But honestly, as I'm saying it, the hairs on my neck are standing up. My gut is turning. Like, my body is resisting this pick. It's one of those picks you got to kind of resist. I'm killing my darlings here. This is another kill your darlings Matt Brown-esque kind of fade. I'm fading Clay Guida in the same way I fade Matt Brown. And, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't one I'm going to, kill off too many brain cells thinking about. I'm going to go with Santos. Just seems like the superior fighter at this point in time. Love Clay Guida, a living legend. I could even see a bit of a stylistic advantage if the wrestling is there over the BJJ. But at the end of the day, Santos with the striking at this point in time is also just head over heels above Clay Guida. So,
what makes you say that, though?
The eye test, baby. It's all about the eyes. If you look at these last couple of fights.
Dan, you have Ray Charles' sight.
Do you have any more musicians that you can compare me to in the Hall of Fame?
There's a lot.
Listen, anyone
Wonder.
looking at a kickboxing match between Santos and Guida would say that Santos is going to get the jump on him. Guida's going to throw a lot of volume, but it's just not there. It's not there. That's all I can say about Guida at this point in his career. He puts together fun fights, but he's not going to win.
Yeah. It hurts coming out, dude. It hurts coming out. It hurts my heart to say it so bad. It hurts my heart to say it so bad. You guys have no hispech. It's Christmas time. One famous carpenter was born pretty soon. We have another carpenter fighting this weekend. If you have any Christmas spirit, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you have to bet on Clay Guida, another famous carpenter, probably the second most famous carpenter ever.
Are you serious, though? Like, seriously, like, should we really pick Clay Guida?
No! Fuck Satan! Hail Satan! Hail Satan! We're picking Santos! Hail Satan! Triple P certified!
That'll be a nice drop.
I wish I had anything. Like, I wish I had something. I wish I had, like, we got, you guys, we have to have a employee meeting where we all get together and we just start putting drops together.
I send you drops every week.
But we don't do it in the right place. Like,
I sent you Sean Brady talking about him having that thing on him.
Here's the thing. I need to clear these ones out because StreamYard actually only gives you a certain amount of like drops that you're.
Yeah, we can first lose the add it multiply one. That can be the first one we get rid of.
When you add them multiply, I call it.
But like when the problem is that with that one is I'm saving it for when we win, and I can say
I won this week. You didn't play.
You didn't win.
How much did you win? You told us you lost it on football.
I lost some of it on football, and believe me, I wish I could not bet on a football Sunday.
Did you bet against the Eagles?
No, I didn't bet against the Birds. Dog, come on, bro. I was watching that game, chugging my water because I fucking knew the Birds were going to pull it away after the first fucking snap of the game, dude. Come on, don't play with me. But anyway, bro, let's fucking get on with it, dude. I'm so done with this shit. I hate this show.
Little mouth on him. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing.
All right, let's go. Now, this is the, to me, like one of the more interesting fights on the card. Alex Morono versus Mickey Gall. Now, Mickey Gall has succeeded in ways that, or I'm sorry, Alex Morono has succeeded in ways that Mickey Gall has not, right? Like, given similar matchups, you give Diego Sanchez to Mickey Gall, he loses. you give Cowboy Cerrone to Mickey to Alex Morono, and he rolls. He rolls through him. First round, knocks him out. Something tells me Alex Morono gets the win here. My gut told me he got the win. The criteria tells me he gets the win. The only thing I give Mickey Gall is the height and reach. But, you know, Mickey Gall looked really good against Jordan Williams. Really, really, really good.
Oh, my gosh.
This is one I want nothing to do with. I want nothing to do with. My official pick's Alex Morono, but I want nothing to do with this one.
I love how you say that you got like, oh, I got a gut feeling that Alex Morono might win. It's like, yeah, no shit. He's a minus 20 favorite. Most people think that. So
wait. Mickey Gall. I'm switching. Because honestly, the value, if you're telling me that, my official gambling pick is Mickey Gall. Because, listen, I think Alex Morono is the better fighter, but I think Mickey Gall is the rawer dog. He's the boardwalk dog. He's going to go in there. You put these two guys meet at a party. Mickey Gall's going to fucking take this guy's girlfriend. He's not even going to need to fight him. He's going to stare him now.
Yeah, he's going to take his girlfriend because he's a hunk, dude. He hasn't had a
hunk. And
he hasn't had a hard day in his life. He goes to the Jersey Shore, pops that shirt off, fist pumps a couple times. He's got a couple girls doing the turnpike on him before he knows it. Listen, Alex Morono, he looks like a fucking extra out of American History.
All right, we got a situation.
Alex Morono, on the other hand, looks like an extra from American History X. So,
or Hills Have Eyes.
Or Hills Have Eyes. Either one of the two. I'm going with the Great White here. The Great White Hope. He's gonna put an end to Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall is all hype. I love Mickey Gall, and if I ever see him, I will pay homage for sure. I just think Alex Morono gets it done this fight. I like Mickey Gall. I just think this is a bad matchup.
Alex Morono has no way to win this fight. Here's what's going to happen. Morono's going to come out. Swing, 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 swing. He's going to swing his wild fucking nothing. He's going to swing his wild-ass fucking monkey shots, and he's going to hit Mickey Gall, who's going to go like this. It's going to hit him like that.
And you know what? You're right. Every time Alex Morono wins.
And then he's gonna drop down, try to take Mickey Gall down. Mickey Gall's going to go, nerd. And then all of a sudden, he's going to be like, oh, wait, why am I trying to take Mickey Gall, a black belt, down? And he's going to be like, why am I trying to strike with them? Then he's going to be like, why am I in this fight? And then he's going to get knocked the fuck out. Mickey Gall. I had Morono. I was like, Morono, obviously. I picked Morono. I was like, Morono. Then I was like, criteria, Morono. Then you're telling me odds, Morono. Now I'm going Gall. I'm switching entirely. Mickey Gall. It makes all the sense in the world that Mickey Gall would win this.
It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's going to happen. A line Luke stole from me and put in the intro so everybody thinks it's his.
No. But sometimes the odds tell you what's going to happen. Because sometimes, here's what happens. The public are dumb. And they bet. And they influence the odds. And then you can look at them and go, wait a minute. Am I dumb? No, I'm not dumb.
I'm not a mark.
Against the public.
I'm not a mark. That's what you got to say. Am I a mark?
You got to go, wait a minute. Everybody hates Mickey Gall and loves Alex Morono because Mickey Gall has disappointed people in their parlays. He's disappointed me. I took Mickey Gall against who? Dan Hooker? Dustin Poirier? Who was that? Who did I take him against? No.
Mike Perry?
Mike Perry. Exactly. Mike Perry. I took Mickey Gall against Mike Perry. Disappoints. A lot of gamblers did. So now what do? They go, oh, I took Morono as an underdog against Cerrone. He impressed. So I'm going to put my money on Morono. But those outcomes have nothing to do with this one. But they do in terms of...
Well, I'll tell you what outcomes do have to do with this one, Luke. I will tell you what. Since his third fight in the UFC, after his first two nothing fights, CM Punk and Mike Jackson. So once he got a real opponent in Sage Northcutt, right? A real opponent. After that, he has lost 1-1-1, lost 1-1-1, lost 1-1-1. Now it's Alex Morono. He's about to come up on a loss, as far as I'm concerned.
No. All that means nothing to me. He looked so great in his last fight. So did Morono, but I'm going with Gall. I'm switching officially. The criteria says Morono. Strength of schedule is Morono. Activity is Morono. Height and reach is Mickey. Everything else is even. I'm going with Morono. Or I'm sorry, I'm going with Gall. I'm switching from Morono to Gall. I'm going with Mickey Gall. He's the jock. He's the jock. Morono's the nerd. Morono's going to get his head put in the toilet. He's going to go back and tell the kids how he got.
And listen, people, this is where Luke will be wrong, because Dan gets the picks that I get wrong correct, and then all the picks that I get right wrong.
All right, fine. Maki Pitolo versus.
I'm just saying, you were like, oh, I lean toward Alex. I don't lean toward you ever, because you always make a couple idiotic picks, like, for no reason. Like,
I'm so nice, and then you turn the knife on me. You know what I mean?
Man.
All right, break down this next one. Maki Pitolo, the Hawaiian Stallion, versus Duško Todorović.
The Hawaiian Stallion. Dude, he has the best nickname in MMA. It's Coconut Bombs versus not the medic. What's this guy's name? Thunder. All right, yo. This is plain, simple, and easy for me. Todorović, you're going to get him on good odds for sure. He's definitely a better fighter than the odds he's going to get. But I mean, this might be a pick'em fight. I think it might be like closer to a pick'em, if I'm not mistaken. Dan, do you have any idea on the odds?
Yeah, Pitolo's actually a pretty big underdog.
No way.
Yeah, you can get him at plus 145. Gonna have to pay minus 160.
Dude, I always get Maki Pitolo confused with Fluffy Hernandez. Okay, I am so sorry, gang. I am so sorry. I thought this was Fluffy Hernandez. I'm like, yeah, Maki Pitolo comes out there, he chokes out a black belt in what's his name? Adolfo Vieira. Yeah, I always get these guys confused, but nonetheless, I am not convinced by Thunder Todorović here. I mean, you get guillotined by Darren Stewart. Yikes. Oy vey. I mean, this is my pick'em fight of the night. Tough one to call. I'm going to go with Coconut Bombs here. He gets back on the right track. He puts Duško away. Duško gets engaged in these firefights sometimes, and he really doesn't have to. We saw it with Gregory Rodriguez. We saw it with Punahele Soriano. He gets into firefights, and they're not firefights he can win. Maki Pitolo throws bombs, coconut bombs to be exact. The underdog comes out on top. Danny Dimes, what are you thinking?
Yeah, this could be a rare agreement between the two of us. I'm also going to go with Maki Pitolo. His last three fights were losses, but his last fight against Julian Marquez, a loss, but showed a lot in that one. He even showed some wrestling in there, which I don't think, I think caught a lot of people on sleeping. Obviously, we know the bombs are going to be there all day. He's got a ton of power. He's got a real granite chin, which does not bode well for Duško, because we have seen him to be quite chinny. And like Alex said, puts himself in kind of boneheaded situations. We, on paper, would kind of view this as Duško being more well-rounded, but at this point in time, again, it's another situation where a young guy in Maki who showed he's growing in all facets of mixed martial arts in his last fight, a loss. But there's a reason why the UFC is holding on to this guy, even though he's lost 3 in a row. It's because he's fun as hell to watch, and obviously the skill level is there. So I'm going to go with Maki, especially if you're going to give me plus 145 in a fight that could come down to, who's going to be able to throw the bigger shot, and that's Maki all day. Give me coconut bombs.
Dan, I think your problem is that you look too much at the odds. You're always looking for value.
I mean, yeah, I'm a value hunter, but I didn't look at the odds until after I picked the fights.
You're a dog chaser for sure, and I have to be weary when I'm riding your coattails. That's right.
I got a lot of dogs on this one. I'll give you a sneak peek. $10 on my bet's gonna net you over 40 grand, bitch. Let's go.
Notice Dan did the best in the year that I really didn't care.
Okay, so you're just lazy. I don't know what to tell you. You haven't cared before. You don't care now. You don't care. You don't care.
Yeah, that's a non-starter. All right, I'm going with Maki as well. My criteria says Duško just because of his 2-inch reach advantage and his 4-year age advantage. But I'm going with Maki. I think he gets the win. He was winning every minute of that fight up until the choke out with the Julian Marquez fight. Duško doesn't provide that same threat. I'm going with Maki. I think he might even get the finish. I agree with Alex.
Duško's good on the ground. Dan also took Maki Pitolo. That's a triple P certification, baby. And that makes me hesitant there because that's a big dog pick for a triple P certification. But I'm still rolling with Maki Pitolo for sure.
So is that 3? Is that 3 triple P?
Yeah. Bryan Barberena, William Knight,
Wells, and Moraes, yeah, and Kape.
And Wells too, right?
Crute. No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying like we didn't trophy certify this.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't trophy certify Hill, Kape, Moraes, Wells, Santos, Gall.
All right. We have our second to last fight, I do believe. We got Philipe Lins versus. Oh, I'm taking one for the team here. Azamat Murzakanov. Azamat Murzakanov. And I'm going to go with Murzakanov. We got a undefeated Russian fighter here. 10-0. If you're looking at his record, it doesn't seem all that much padded, or at least not as padded as it could be. He's got a ton of first-round finishes, including in the Contender Series. And he's going up against Philipe Lins, who I personally am not all that high on, coming off 2 straight losses. At one point in time, I think, the UFC might have been high on him. He won the PFL. Now he has 5 straight canceled bouts. I mean, I just have to think that that's going to have some sort of negative effect on Philipe going into this fight. And I just think the UFC is setting up Azamat to get a first UFC victory under his belt, nice and quick, make him a contender as soon as possible. So give me Azamat.
Yeah, let's just say that Philipe Lins is going to need his Azamat suit for this one. He's walking into not a very medically cleared situation because Dan brought up a lot of canceled bouts. He was not medically cleared to compete 6 months ago. How much better could he be 6 months after that if the UFC wouldn't even let him compete medically? So besides that, he also withdrew. He withdrew against Ben Rothwell 3 separate times. He was scared of Ben Rothwell. Ben Rothwell is the type of dude who puts Philipe Lins in the dirt. And I think that Azamat is a similar type of cat. I think he goes out there and he destroys them. He shows them that wrestling has always been better than jiu-jitsu. I like red, white, and blue. Either way, the flag is pointing, except for vertically. The French are never my pick. So I'm with Russia all the way. I'm taking Azamat.
I'm taking Azamat as well. That's a triple P certification. The reason I'm taking him, when I look at my criteria, Azamat, besides a 7-inch reach advantage from Lins, Lins is a bully. He's not a good nail. Bad hammer too. I mean, he wins. He lost against Andrei Arlovsky. Like, let's be real. Azamat Murzakanov, Just give me him, man. Like, I'm not taking. There's 15 fights. This is one of the ones you don't need to bet as much, but it's a Triple B certification nonetheless. I mean, we all are on the same page here. And here's the thing, guys. Of our last 61 Triple B certification picks, we've hit 51. That's 84% over the last 10. And of those last 10 events, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them, we've gone 100%. So that's a 5 out of 5, a 5 out of 5, a 6 out of 6, a 6 out of 6, and a 3 out of 3. So just to throw that out there. That is our fourth Triple B certification. Bryan Barberena, William Knight, Maki Pitolo, and Azamat Muradov. Okay, so
boys. Next fight, we have drama, TMZ alert, Cheyenne buys no more. Cheyenne Vilsmus, which is something that we've called for quite some time. That Cheyenne buy at the time would catch wind that JP buys sucks and that he's not pulling in any money and that she is the only one pulling in money. She's crying about being poor. She was bound to find somebody eventually. Somebody probably saw that video and was like, Cheyenne, you want me to pay for your training? No problem. I'm your man now. JP, I'm sorry, dude. Divorce is tough. Child of it myself. I hope everything works out. Luke, what do you have going into this fight?
Yeah, we called it on this podcast. We said that Cheyenne Buys should not put up with her deadbeat man if he is not providing for her. We said that she should move on because she's out there complaining about, oh, I don't have enough money to buy a house, blah, blah, blah. It's like, don't you have another famous husband who fights in the UFC alongside you on the same card? Why don't you pull your money and buy a house? Like, let's be real. At least it's enough for a down payment. Anyway, Cheyenne buys, JP buys no more, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's get the announcement. This is super great drama. Love it. I'm going with Cheyenne Villasamias, whatever her new last name is. I'm going with Cheyenne. Now, Mallory Martin does train at elevation. Could be a red flag. I do usually get the first pick of the night wrong. Could be another red flag. Going with Cheyenne. She seems like a pretty cutthroat bitch.
I'm going the opposite on this one. I'm taking Mallory Martin. I think that there's a lot of positive energy, a lot of positive attention to Cheyenne Bays, Cheyenne Villasmas, whatever.
It's Villasmas.
Christmas. Because of everything that happened with the money and, you know, people like someone who fights for people's rights to make more money or whatever. And also the head kick knockout, which was pretty sweet. But again, that was against Glorious.
And she's complaining about money. She made more money than I make in a year in a night.
Yeah, but Alex, you don't pay for a nutritionist or a trainer. And
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You're late.
Yes, I do.
You're late on your dues for BJJ, but that's besides the point. I'm going with Mallory Martin. I'm going with Fight Team Elevation. I've seen a lot of good things out of her, even in the losses. I think the wrestling is going to be there. I think the cardio is going to be there, and that's enough of me for a plus 145 dog to start off the night. Give it to me all day.
Okay. Well, let's.
All right. So that means that I'm going to also make my pick now, and we're not going to end the show abruptly. You know, I think that cutting her husband out of the picture was probably the best thing that's ever happened to her. I mean, we got to give it to Mallory Martin. Her man is also a low-life MMA fighter, right?
Not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's Darren Wynn.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Luke, pull up her Instagram. Share your screen. Pull up her Instagram. We'll find out real quick.
Is that what you're saying?
No, her boyfriend. I think it's Darren Wynn. This is the TMZ fight of the night, baby.
I'm up on Mallory Martin's Instagram, and I'm not seeing anything about a boyfriend.
Hold on.
Like literally nothing.
I'm pretty sure her and Darren Wynn have been canoodling.
I got nothing.
They've been canoodling for quite some time.
But honestly, Mallory Martin looks like she's going to win this fight, dude.
Luke?
Looks like she's been training with Rose.
She's been training. So what? Did they both just delete all their Instagram posts? Can I not see all their Instagram posts? What's going on?
Broke up and that's what they do. They delete it.
Damn. So both ladies coming off of bad breakups with bad MMA fighters. This is the dish. Baby.
I'm watching Mallory Martin training footage right now, and I'm switching to Mallory Martin.
That's right.
That is right. She looks real good.
Telling you.
I mean, Mallory Martin, like, who is she beating in the UFC? Yeah, she lost to third-eyed blind Verna Jandarova.
Fucked up.
And she lost to Polly Viana.
It's a good nickname, though.
I think it's a good one for sure.
Listen, this fight card is all about the eye test, and I'm glad that Lukey.
Is that another joke about Verna?
It was a little bit of a pun there, yeah, a little bit.
You couldn't help yourself.
But there's a lot of these fighters that are coming off of losses or have a little bit of a padded or not padded.
Dude, you got listen. Your eye test is only going on Verna's one eye. All right, you're not even going with both of them. You're only using the bad one.
And that's the trifecta right there. I got my third blind.
I'm going with Mallory Martin because I mean, I'm pretty sure she used to date Darren Wynn, right? Like,
are you sure about that? Because if you do this is a triple P certification, and we got to keep that record clean. So
I mean, bro, you tried to make our record clean by taking a fucking can last weekend.
What was the pick?
The first woman fight of the night. You picked Sam Page.
Sam Page?
We would have been 4 for 4.
You picked Sam Page.
I didn't pick Sam Hughes, did I?
Yeah, you did. You were like, oh, my heart can't live with it. My heart can't live with it if we triple B certify this girl.
We can't triple B certify.
Look at 48 Laws of Power in my bookshelf.
48
Laws of Power? Where do you have 48 Laws of Power?
I don't.
Oh, I'm Dan. I'm Dan Bittman. Oh.
It's okay.
All right, trophy certified Mallory Martin.
Fine.
I'm with it. Fine. Even though Alex is going to sully this, just with his shitty picks.
You realize I am probably the greatest MMA gambler of all time.
All right, so we got 5 trophy certified picks. Bryan Barberena, William Knight.
Capper comparison, if you're watching this, please divvy me up besides these swine, okay?
Cap, you know I'm the man. Cap
make a euro under King's picks strictly, because I'm tired of being lumped in with these losers who can't pick a fight.
Cap is a good man. Cap is a good man who doesn't shirk his responsibilities. He's not late on his BJJ payments, okay? He makes his payments. He pays for his children. He puts food on their table. And he's actually a responsible guy who, when he takes up responsibilities, he actually puts forward effort, unlike you.
Listen, Dan, unlike when you're a jet setter like me, you're paying for children all over the place.
Oh, yeah, you're a real trendsetter with that poster in the background. Never seen that poster before, Alex. Yeah, real trendsetter with that one.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali knocking out Sonny Liston. You wouldn't know anything about that. You wouldn't know anything about that. You'd probably still call him Cassius Clay, you fucking coward.
Yeah, I do, because I liked him when he was dodging the draft, unlike you unpatriotic fuck.
Listen, dude.
I think I won that one.
He was busy at Mecca, dude. He was busy at Mecca. All right, he was on pilgrimage. He couldn't go to war.
Oh my God! Okay, all right. Didn't see that coming. Okay, can we just? I'm just gonna give my picks real quick. So, trophy certified picks: Bryan Barberena, William Knight.
Shut the fuck up! None of those diplomas are yours.
Robert. I didn't do this stuff.
All right. Bryan Barberena, William Knight, Maki Pitolo, Azamat, Murzakanov, Mallory Martin. Mallory Martin last minute switch up. Take that one with caution. But 5 trophy certified picks: Bryan Barberena, William Knight, Maki Pitolo, Azamat, Murzakanov, and Mallory Martin. That's 5 trophy certified picks for you. And let's move to my picks, the ones that are on DraftKings at least. DraftKings Sportsbook, the sportsbook that we play with. If you have a problem gambling, contact 1-800-GAMBLER. If you live in a different state where it's a different fucking hotline, then contact the hotline in your area. If you have a problem gambling, we're not even selling anything. This is an entertainment purpose. This is only podcast. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
We're just warming up for one day if we might get ads.
Exactly. Everything you see here is fictitious. We're just joking. Whatever you want to fucking say. But bottom line is, if you have a problem, go seek help. And you have to be 21 or older. Void where prohibited. Odds subject to change. Make sure that you're in a state where it's legal. All of that good shit. But also call your senator and get them to legalize sports betting on the mobile phone in your state so you can have fun with us on DraftKings. So anyway, Vince Moraes plus 115. Taking him as an underdog against Smolka. Don't see any reason why Smolka should be a favorite. He's proven nothing to us. Give me Santos minus 180 against Clay Guida. Pains me, hurts my heart. 5-inch reach, 5-inch height. Got to go with Santos. Look good against Grant Dawson. Give me Claudio Puelles plus 100. Pick 'em fight. Gruetzemacher overperformed in his fight against Rafa Garcia. Give me Puelles. Going with Manel Kape minus 200. Stable pick. Think he knocks Zalgas out. Bryan Barberena is minus 180 against Matt Brown. Easy pick for me. Azamat Muradov, our second trophy certified pick of the ones I just listed next to Bryan Barberena. Azamat Murzakanov minus 250. Maki Pitolo plus 145, our third in a row trophy certified pick. Mickey Gall plus 180. Switched after seeing the odds. That's disrespect. He's an athlete. He's a BJJ black belt. He's going to get Alex Morono out of there. I had Morono. The criteria had Morono. I'm going against it. I'm picking Mickey Gall. Last minute switch up. Mickey Gall plus 180. Mallory Martin plus 160. Again, another switch up. Cheyenne Buys still on DraftKings. Cheyenne Buys, but she switched her last name. And now I'm switching my pick because her trainer, her partner, her sparring partner, that was her husband. Now that has split. I got to think that things have suffered. Meetings with lawyers, meetings with new apartment.
And listen, shout out to Zach Stacy. Your wife should be your sparring partner.
Hold on. I got to interrupt my picks. All right. After Mallory Martin, we got minus 155 Rob Font. That's a bargain. That's an absolute bargain. Less miles. Let's get Rob Font in there. Better boxing. Jimmy Crute minus 180. Again, great odds for a guy who's been very impressive. Lost to Anthony Smith. Absolute robbery by the doctor. Brad Riddell versus Rafael Fiziev. An absolute pick 'em. Minus 110. I couldn't agree more. It is a pick 'em. Give me Fiziev. A little bit faster. A little bit better technique. A little bit more willing to get in there, bite down, and get it going. $10 on this pays $19,040. I will take it. $12 parlay, 12 fight parlay, $10 on those 12. There's 15 on the card. The rest of the picks for me, the ones that aren't listed, I guess they are William Knight, that wasn't on it, I guess. Roman Doladeze, that wasn't on it, and one more. Jeremiah Wells. That wasn't on it either. All right, so Jeremiah Wells, Roman Doladeze, and William Knight. Those are the three that are not on DraftKings. I'll take those three as well. But the 12 that are on DraftKings, those 12, we used to not be able to bet 15 fight parlays on DraftKings. 12 used to be the max. So these 12 will pay $19,040, $10 bet. Dan, Alex, give everybody your picks.
All right, starting from the bottom, we're going to go with Mallory Martin, Azamat. We'll keep it at that. Maki Pitolo. Alex Morono, Leonardo Santos, Jake Matthews, Vince Morales, Zalgas Zhumagulov, big-time underdog, followed by Jamahal Hill, another big-time underdog here, Claudio Puelles, Brendan Allen, who now looks like he's fighting Chris Curtis. Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
We'll have to revisit that some other time, I guess.
I'm taking Chris Curtis.
Okay. I'm going to, whatever. For now, I'll stick with Allen, but subject to change possibly. William Knight, Bryan Barberena, Brad Riddell, and finally, the king of Rio, Jose Aldo. You plug in $10. My phone's dead right now, but I know it's over 40 grand for your winnings there.
Yeah, and if you want to take a ride with me, you're going to take Mallory Martin, Azamat Murzakanov, Maki Pitolo, Coconut Bombs, man, Alex Morono, Leonardo Santos, Jeremiah Wells, Luis Smolka, Manel Kape, Jimmy Zakrut, Chris Gruetzemacher, Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis. I'm rolling with Brendan Allen for sure. William Nightmare Night Train Night. Brian Barberena. Brad Riddell. And of course, José Aldo Jr.
And listen, Roman Doladeze versus Brandon Allen was the second person that stepped in to replace the original opponent of Brandon Allen, Brad Tavares. Now we have a third opponent switch for Brendan Allen to Chris Curtis. What a series of switch-ups for Brendan Allen. Can't think that this helps Brendan Allen. Mallory Martin, by the way, was also in there against Montserrat Ruiz originally. She withdrew. Cheyenne Velismas is in there now. So, Cheyenne Velismas, is she prepared? Who knows? But I'm glad we're triply certifying Mallory Martin, who's been prepared. We know that opponents stepping in with less than 40 days notice win at a very low percentage. So glad to see that she's winning. Okay, great. So, by the way, my most confident picks, Rob Font, Rafael Fiziev, Brian Barberena, William Knight, and Azamat Murzakanov.
And if you want my most confident picks, you are going to have to join us on the Discord. Sometimes I send them in. Sometimes I get a little too banged up and I forget. But hey, if you ever want them, just remind me. I'll probably send them in, or maybe not, because fuck you, and I don't care about this. If you want to... If you want to follow me, Euro Under King on Instagram. If you want to follow Luke, PPP Certified on Instagram. And please, please, please join the Discord, and I love you.
Join the Discord, and if you want to follow Dan, it's at perfect_parlay on Twitter. Join that one. That's a new addition. And please help us grow that Twitter. Also, the Discord, we have over 100 members in there. Some of them are female. Join the Discord. You can chat with us during the fights. You can chat with us between the fights. You can chat with us about all sorts of different topics, from NFL to cryptocurrency.
And you might meet like a lovely lady.
Entertainment
you might meet a lovely lady that you will be with forever.
Right. You very well might.
You really might. Won't. There's a couple. There's a few.
These women don't want to be bothered by creepy guys watching men fight in a cage, drinking beers. All right, just leave the ladies alone.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to watch the fights. They just want to watch the fights, and they want to talk the fights. So just talk about the fights with everybody. Let's keep it positive. I notice everybody's shitting on a lot of fighters that are losing them bets lately. Let's try to keep it positive. Let's be constructive. Let's be productive. It's okay to shit on them when they really disappoint, but let's save our bullets and join the Discord.
Yeah, and that is like a main like moral of this next week's card, is that like we have a lot of guys that we've been riding for so long and we love so much, and it's so hard to pick against them, but they're fighting against other guys that we love so much that have also won us so much money, and it's such a hard decision. So yeah, like don't give the boys too much guff.
Exactly. Don't give the boys too much guff. And we move forward. The most important thing you can do is click the like button. It takes 2 seconds. Click the like button in this video and send the video to another friend you have that also likes UFC or sports betting. Send it to them. Let them subscribe as well, because we have plenty of watch hours. All we need is 1,000 subscribers, and then YouTube will start paying us for this podcast. Not probably very much money at all, but it's a good little milestone for us to achieve 1,000 subscribers. We're at 600 right now. We're 60% of the way there. Let's get to 1,000. Let's cross that next threshold. Let's get to the next place. If everybody who watches this sends it to just one friend, we're there. So please do so. Throw a like, throw a subscribe, throw a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your parlay is, how you've been betting, how you've been winning, etc. Throw a comment, join the Discord, all the above, or none of the above, whatever you want. Just
please don't like, subscribe, or comment, or follow us on anything. I would hate to be monetized and have to do this for real.
Dan, anything you want to say?
Just don't listen to Alex, and you should be pretty good as far as following this show. You get a good
unless you want to win. Unless you want to win bets. Unless you want to win bets, don't listen to me.
Guys, we got 5 Triple certified picks for you. As we said, we went 100% last weekend. We've gone 100% 5 out of the last 10 cards. We're 84% last 10. We are 74% in year 2 Triple certified picks. All of us, as you can see from the little names we have here, are above 60%. Thank you for following us. Thank you for betting with us. Thanks for talking to us in the Discord. Thanks for being our friends. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And we will see you in a week when we break this fight card down again, revisiting it again. I'm sure we saw a change up this very 2 hours we've been doing this. I'm sure we'll see more. Manpreet from MMA Lock of the Night is joining us next week, next Monday. He already confirmed it with me. We will see you next Monday with Manpreet from MMA Lock of the Night. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody, and thank you for being a part of this. Goodbye, good luck, and enjoy holiday weekend. Enjoy Thanksgiving, a very important holiday.